So, welcome back. In the last video, I showed you how to add a pop-up. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the finishing touches, some tips and tricks, and once again, the finishing touches before you publish your mission and send it out to the site. So, the first thing I'm going to start off with is the new feature called the glossary, the tooltip glossary. So many times in Mishna you'll have a term like a measurement, an amount. For instance, in kilayim, the word kilayim, you'll have a word that repeats itself throughout Mishnayos, and obviously not everybody knows these terms, not everybody knows the measurements, so you might want to add a definition, but you don't want to go ahead and in every single Mishnah add that unnecessary shortcode over and over just to make a definition for kilayim. So we've added a feature called the CM Tooltip Glossary, which allows you to add a word, and once you've added that word once, it'll automatically scan through all of the Mishnayos to find that word, and it'll make it a pop-up. So if I roll over, now you see if I click on Darnell, I get a different kind of pop-up, but if I roll over kilayim, I get this different type of pop-up. It looks more like a definition type of pop-up, and it will show you the definition. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. It's actually really easy. So once you've logged in, you're on your dashboard, you roll over CM Tooltip Glossary, you hit Add New, and you can add. But the first thing you want to do is go to the word page glossary and check if your term is not already in here, because the term might actually be in here. And if it is not, then you can add a term. So to add a term, just type in a word. We've already added the word test, but what you do is just add test and type in, this is a test. And I'm just going to press publish, and since I've already done that, I'm not going to hit it, but pretty much what it'll do now, if I roll over the word test, I'll get this is a test glossary item. So that's pretty simple. So one thing I did notice is that the word I added as an administrator is not showing up here, so that means you'll not necessarily see everybody's glossary terms. So you can actually access the glossary and see what's in it by going to visualmishna.com/glossary. And I know you probably won't want to be entering this term every single time, so what I'll do is, as you can see right here, we have our glossary with these two. So what I'll do is I'll probably add a link to the glossary page from the Mishna page, so you can just quickly access that, see if the word is not already in here. If it is, don't add it, because then it'll just confuse the software. And just check if it's in here and go ahead and add it. And we'll add a link to that page from your dashboard. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the finishing touches in your post. So I'm going to go ahead into my test post here. So the first thing I want to do before publishing is, notice if I go to visualmishna.com and I go to the actual Mishna I added and my kilayim page, you can see here that if I look at Introduction to Kilayim, I see my entire post here. This is just a preview. As you can see, there's a continue reading button, but I see everything here. As well as with this, I see all the Hebrew, I see all the text, and that may look strange. You may want your viewers on the preview page just to see, Tractate Kilayim Parak 1, Mishnah 1. So that's possible. As you can see, if I go to my first post I ever made, it just says Tractate Kilayim Parak 1, Mishnah 1, and if you hit continue reading, you see the whole post. So this isn't required, but it'll just make it easier for users. It'll make it more intuitive, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. So I'm going to click where I have my header here, and I'm going to roll over this button right here. So I'm going to roll over this button right here. As you can see, it has the two lines with dots in the middle, and you just click that, and this line will appear right under the text that says more. So pretty much what this is it's a read more line, so it cuts off what users can see from the preview page. So now if I go back to the Mishnah, we should be able, as you can see now, when I go back to the Mishnah, all I see is Tractate Kilayim Parak 1 Mishnah 1. And this isn't required, but it'll make it easier. It's more intuitive. It's really quite easy. You just hit this button right here. So that's the read more line. The next thing you want to do before publishing is if you scroll down, you'll see this thing called categories. So categories is extremely important. If you don't put in the right place, the Mishna will automatically categorize itself as uncategorized content. And that will really mess up pretty much everything on the site. So what you want to do is, obviously once you've registered for an account, got in touch with us, we'll go ahead and add your category here. But what you'll want to do is just select the Sidra and the track date that your thing is in, because by default it'll look like this, and if you publish it like that, then it won't work. So what you have to do is just uncheck that, select Zerayim, Kilayim, and hit update. So now the Mishna has been categorized, and if I search Mishna, if I just plain search Mishna 1, then that might cause a problem. So once it's categorized, everything should work fine, and it'll automatically show up on that track dates page. And once you've done that, you just hit update, or publish in your case, and it will be done, and the Mishna will be there. Editing the Mishna is easy. All you have to do, you can just always go back to your posts. You can always select all your posts. If you find a mistake, just go back, and you can easily edit it. We actually will have a rabbinical authority who will go over the content on the site, and if they find any mistakes, they will be able to fix it themselves. But if you ever want to change something or add something, just go to all posts and select the post. So now the last thing I'm going to show you before you publish is, of course, maybe you want to add more content to your Mishna other than just the text, the visualization, and the Hebrew. So if you want to add anything else to the Mishna, you'll have to go to under the Mishna. Once you've finished, you'll go under, and if you say want to add a commentary, so go ahead and write heading 2 and write the words commentary, if that's what you add. If that's what you want to add. You can add anything, but I'll just be doing commentaries for this example. If you find some really good commentary, or if you have a Devar Torah, or anything like that, all you want to do is just write the word commentaries, and we're going to go ahead and add another shortcode. So I had to cut out a bit of the video, so some text has appeared here. But you just, fill in whatever you want under the word commentaries. Write, this is some content, Rabbi Test. So you can see if I go to the page right now, it's just this. And as you can see, the glossary term has identified itself. So you can technically just leave it like this. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with this, but if you do have a lot of content you want to add, like you want to have one thing, you want to have commentaries, under that you want to have like excerpts from the Gemara, maybe an important discussion, or references, that type of thing. So pretty much what you want to do, just to get that intuitive interface, is go ahead and just hit enter, and on top of the word commentaries, we're going to add another shortcode. So if you scroll down here, you see this thing called make animated drop-down text. So by default, it'll look like this. Won't really be filled out. So you see right here we have check this box to apply the drop-down effect only to sections on the page wrapped in shortcodes. So obviously you don't want the entire Mishna turning into one big drop-down, so go ahead and check this. And then here, do you want a visual cue on the questions of this page? So I do recommend using a visual cue because I've noticed that sometimes when it's set to default from plugin settings, it doesn't operate correctly. So I usually just use the arrows. I mean, that's what I used on the Mishna page, as you can see. We just have the arrows. So if you want, I mean, you can use the arrows or the arrows, but we'll just go ahead and add the arrows. Once you've done that, just add a quick shortcode here. Just write bg_fac, and then, and then start, and then close bracket. These shortcodes are available right here, both of them. And then to close it off, you just write bg_fac end, and just close the bracket. And you've added a drop down. And let's just go ahead and see how that'll look. So you can see we have the word commentaries here with a little arrow. If I click on it, and it just drops down. So it'll be useful if you have like a lot of content. Like if you have a whole bunch of different categories, and you just want users to see a nice short page where they just click it and then they'll see all that stuff, and if you have a ton of content. So the first line of content, in this case the heading, will always be what the pop-up displays right here, and then whatever's under that is going to show up when a user clicks on it. Now that we've done this, let's go ahead and publish. I already showed you how to select the category, so just click the Sidra, climb, and hit update or publish. The system, just some quick tips, if you messed up, deleted something by accident and published, the system stores revisions every time content is edited. You'll easily be able to recover to that content. Go ahead and leave this page. You'll easily be able to recover by that content. You can scroll through. Literally, I mean, it stores entire caches of content. You can just, once you've found the version you want to keep, you just hit restore this version. And that's how you publish a Mishna. As you can see, it's quite easy. In the next video, I'll go over resources, and then one resource I'll show you how to use, and that will be the concluding video. So this was the last video in how to publishing a Mishna. In the next video, I'll be going over resources and how to use a resource, and that will conclude this series guide. At the end of the next video, you'll find a link both in the video and the description at the end of the next video, that'll be the last one, to a resource guide, which will pretty much contain everything said in these videos, just in a more broken down menu style interface. And it's definitely good that you should, print that out, keep it handy. All shortcodes, everything will be in there, pictures of icons, it'll all be in there. So go ahead and stay tuned for that. A link to the next video will be available at the end of this video. Thank you for watching.